My glorious title, is called The Russian Sleep Experiment.
Oh, no. Come on.
Come on, yes,
That's a nightmare.
That's an
right.
It's the truth. It's the truth.
You know this, Wade? Do you know what he's referencing?
I believe so, but for the sake of everyone out there listening, go ahead.
Okay. Russian researchers in the late 1940s kept 5 people awake for 15 days using an experimental gas-based stimulant. They were kept in a sealed environment to carefully monitor their oxygen intake so the gas didn't kill them, since it was toxic in high concentrations. This was before closed-circuit cameras, so they had only microphones and 5-inch thick glass porthole-sized windows into the chamber to monitor them. The chamber was stocked with books, cots to sleep on, but no bedding, running water and toilet, and enough dried food.
They weren't kept in separate cells. It was one big room.
One big room, right?
Big room. Everything was fine for the first 5 days. The subjects hardly complained about having been promised falsely that they would be freed if they submitted to the test and did not sleep for 30 days. Their conversations and activities were monitored, and it was noted that they continued to talk about increasingly traumatic incidents in their past, and the general tone of their conversation took on a darker aspect after the 4-day mark. After 5 days, they started to complain about the circumstances and events that led them to where they were and started to demonstrate severe paranoia. They stopped talking to each other and began alternately whispering to the microphones and one-way mirrored portholes. Oddly, they all seemed to think that they could win the trust of the experimenters by turning over their comrades, the other subjects in captivity with them. At first, the researchers suspected this was an effect of the gas itself. After 9 days, the first of them started screaming. There's a lot more to this. I won't read the entirety of it, and I will just say this last blurb towards the end here.
There's a lot of gory details, and this might be gory.
Yes.
So plug your ears.
It's going to be a little gory.
Content warning.
The second survivor had been the first of the group of 5 to start screaming. His vocal cords destroyed, he was unable to beg or object to surgery, and he only reacted by shaking his head violently in disapproval when the anesthetic gas was brought near him. He shook his head yes when someone suggested reluctantly that they try the surgery without anesthetic, and did not react for the entire 6-hour procedure of replacing his abdominal organs and attempting to cover them with what remained of his skin. The surgeon presiding stated repeatedly that it should be medically impossible for the patient to still be alive. One terrified nurse assisting the surgery stated that she had seen patient's mouth curl into a smile several times whenever his eyes met her. When the surgery ended, the subject looked at the surgeon and began to wheeze loudly, attempting to talk while struggling. Assuming this must have been something of drastic importance, the surgeon had a pen and pad fetched so the patient could write his message. It was simple. Quote, "Keep cutting," end quote. The other 2 test subjects were given the same surgery, both without anesthetic as well, although they had to be injected with a paralytic for the duration of the operation. The surgeon found it impossible to perform the operations while the patients laughed continuously. Once paralyzed, the subjects could only follow the attending researchers with their eyes. The paralytic cleared their system in an abnormally short period of time, and they were soon trying to escape their bonds. The moment they could speak again, they were asking for the stimulant gas. The researchers tried asking why they had injured themselves, why they had ripped open their own guts, and why they wanted to be given the gas again. The only response given was, quote, "I must remain awake," end quote. So I think that's why we need sleep.
Yay.
Beautiful.
So you don't become a crazed, drug, gas-addicted psychopath?
Mm-hmm.
How many days was it? Were they at this point like 9?
The total thing was 15 days they kept them awake?
9's when they really start. Like 4 days are acting funny. 9 days they really lost it.
They were the last subject. No, normal. I think like 15.
Yeah, okay.
Something like that.
So day 4, they're like, okay, they're acting a little strange. Then day 9, they were, this isn't good. And then day 15, they're like, cut me open, Surgeon Daddy.
Yeah, Surgeon Daddy.
They're basically, what were those things? From the Firefly universe. Reapers?
Reavers.
The bad guys in Firefly who were like self-mutilating, space crazed.
I've never watched Firefly.
I've never watched it either, so I don't know.
What?
I know.
I've heard it's really good, but it only goes 1 season, so I'm like, I don't want to feel the disappointment everyone else does.
Worth watching. If you know it ends, then you get to just enjoy it, and then when it ends, you're just like, okay.
But does it have an ending?
No, it ends with a lot of open storylines.
Okay, great.
See, that would drive me nuts.
It ends with an obvious expectation of having another season, but there's a movie,
really?
which is okay. The show is really good, though. But anyway, that is effectively, that description of the mentality of the survivors is like what the bad guys in, well, some of the bad guys in the Firefly universe are. Very scary. I don't want to like rain on this too early, but isn't this fake? Isn't this fiction?
Oh, no one can know.
Oh, okay.
Who can know?
I can't research it, so I'll just trust you, researcher Mark.